Hey folks, Doug Trevino, Coldwell Banker, AJS Schmidt here in West Michigan. Want to touch base, do an October update. Halloween's approaching. I have daughters, so I know this is a big month for us. They're very excited. We just got the Halloween gear out, so we're going to be doing the decorating. So October, it's a big month in terms of sales here in West Michigan. We have noticed a small dip right before school started. Of course, in preparation for that, and then after school started, we were back on the road again here. I mean, the buyers have not gone away. We have a lot of sellers. So it's not like we have a lack of inventory in terms of, well, nobody's selling. Well, that's not the case. People are selling. It just so happens that we have such an influx or an amount of buyers out there that we have more than sellers. So whenever a seller hits the market, you're dealing with a multiple offer situation. And usually the house, if it's competitively priced, it's usually off the market within a day or less or a week. You know, it depends on how the listing agent and the sellers coordinate. Sometimes they say, well, you know what, let's leave it on the market for a week and we'll put a deadline for receiving offers, and they'll give everybody sort of a fair shake at it. And that happens a lot too. If you're in the market right now and you're searching, and you definitely want to be certain, if you're working with an agent, to have that agent check and make sure under confidential comments if there is noted that there's a deadline, or listen, is there no deadline on this, and this literally is going to be a first come first serve situation. That those homes obviously should be prioritized first or highest in the list in terms of which homes to look at before the ones that don't that have a deadline, and you know you have some room in terms of time. The market's picking up. A lot of houses still hitting the market. So I'm on the back end. I have a few listings coming up now that I'm preparing for. At the same time, I have a lot of buyers at the moment that literally, as things hit the market, they're getting a notice that morning right away, so that we can go ahead and make plans to get out to the property, view it, and see if it's a house that we want to write an offer on. So that's good. So the market's picking up. We predict that October, November, December, January, February, these are all going to be busy months relative to what we've been seeing, that we're not going to see a massive slowdown as you know, generally as winters tend to, but even last winter we had a solid winter. It was very busy. It's going to continue to be so. My prediction is, at least for the next few years, that this is going to be a very steady and busy market. So that being said, happy October to everybody, and here we go. You know, we're off and racing. Also, just want to put a note out here. You know, we have the Hurricane Matt out there. I have a lot of friends and colleagues there with Coldwell Banker and other realtor colleagues. Hey, listen, be safe. I think they're anticipating that it potentially could hit Florida, and we're looking at the main impact area potential being Miami and the east side of the state if it hits. But with these hurricanes, who knows? I mean, it could totally be out to sea, and they could get just some tremendous rains and you know, dire weather that way, and avoid the hurricane. Or, you know, winds could shift, and my gosh, that could hit over on the Gulf side. So we don't know. So be safe, everybody down there, and take care. Up here, we're hearing the news on the weather in terms of the Great Lakes, because we've had such a warm, or we're going to call it a late winter, but we've had a warm September, and even now it's still fairly warm for October, even though it's the second of the month, but still. They're predicting that there's a lot of warm energy going to be saved in the Great Lakes right now. So that could either mean if the cold air hits sooner than anticipated, then we could be impacted with a high volume of snow quickly. If the snow stays away till, let's say, late December, January, then we'll have a lot of snowfall, heavy snowfall later or earlier in the year of 2017. So I love the snow, so we're hoping that maybe the wind or the snow comes a little bit early, but I know a lot of people don't. So anyway, just be prepared. There's a lot of energy just waiting in those lakes, so it's going to be an interesting winter this year, for sure. If anybody's on the fence and they're looking at buying and they're still checking out Zillow and Truly and all these other third-party sites, that's great. You know, you're in the market, but just keep in mind those are third-party sites and they're not always up to date. You really want to be in tune with the MLS, and you want to be working with a realtor. I mean, bottom line is, you know, a lot of people think they're wasting a realtor's time. Well, we're not ready to buy now. We will be ready in a week, in a month, in 2 months. We're just not sure yet. It doesn't matter. Get a hold of a realtor. You don't pay anything anyway. There's no fees. You don't pay a commission. I mean, but be upfront with the agent and tell the agent, hey, listen, we're not ready to buy for 2 months, 6 months, 2 weeks, you know, or we're just not sure, but here's our situation. Myself, you know, with my clients, and I always ask them questions like that. Be upfront, be candid. You have nothing to lose, just be candid. And then I can adjust how I'm helping my client, you know, and I have clients who are in different stages of the buying game in terms of their timeline. So, yeah, definitely get a hold of an agent. It's very important. If you're here in West Michigan, get a hold of me. Mine, Doug at 616agent.com. That's Doug at the number 6, number 1, number 6, agent.com. Shoot an email. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'm everywhere. Instagram, email, text, whatever you need to do. I have clients who we communicate in all different degrees and levels. So I have some clients that I've had sellers that I've worked with that we never met until we sold their house, and everything was done over text. They were a young couple. We texted everything, and it was amazing. Well, they actually had a condo. It was and they were out of state. They had left, and I helped short sell that condo for them. But everything was done via text until the final time we met, and I took her out to coffee. But yeah, that was this market's interesting. Definitely is for myself. I'm very tech savvy. I also work old school. If I've got some clients who just like phone calls, we'll do that. I have clients who like to sit down quite often. We make sure we do that. So, you know, I tend to adapt for each client to make sure that their experience is the best experience it can be. Because then at the end of the day, every buyer's experience that's what it's all about. It's their experience, not my experience. It's making the experience good for the individual, okay, the buyer, seller, what have you. So that's it. We got a lot happening here. October's going to be a busy month. If you have any questions, just a reminder, reach out to me if you have any real estate questions. How's the market going? You know, what's anticipation for different markets, different neighborhoods? If you're curious about values in different neighborhoods, Zillow and Truly won't tell you the full story. It literally gives you a very superficial view of value, and even that has to be taken with a grain of salt. So get a hold of me if you have any questions. My cell phone direct, 239-410-4460. Yes, it is. I will never change that number. It is the Florida number, and I love it. People click with that. I said, yeah, we got property in Florida. I said, yes, I kept that Florida number. But that's my cell phone direct, 239-410-4460. You can text me if you'd like, or email me at doug@616agent.com, or visit me on the web at www.616agent.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day. And like I said, everybody in Florida, please be safe. And we'll be watching that storm very carefully too. Thanks so much. Hope all is well wherever you are.